Hey there guys, it's Tommy here. Just getting ready for bed getting ready for the next day. It's gonna be a long day. Nothing definitely different. Just thought I'd do a vlog today because it is getting close to about a whole year since I've moved into this place, and I mean a few things have changed. New band, new lifestyle, new all sorts, but new routine. But however, the one thing that hasn't changed, no girlfriend. Just just that empty space right there. Oh well, I'll try soon. What I normally do before bed is I would either watch an anime episode on my phone right here. Other times, I'll just Google something, because it helps, a bit past time. Sometimes it just helps me sleep. Lately, I've been got into reading. I've just got a new novel called The Catcher in the Rye. Now, some of you might be familiar with this book because this was the very book that John Lennon's killer read. Yeah, apparently. That was a bit of a shock. But other things, lately I've been going through a bit of a nostalgia phase. You see, when I was a kid, one of the games I used to love PC games, but this was before GTA 5 was invented. This was long before GTA 4 was invented. Well, yeah, this was before multiplayer games were invented back then. It was just normal PC games, but most importantly, it was Lego Media, which I loved the most. Rock Raiders, Alpha Team, Lego Racers, 2 and 2. Just I loved them all. They were like brilliant. Oh man, we've come a long way with games. Nowadays it's just Fortnite and that. Most games just don't make sense anymore. I mean, everyone's just playing Among Us. I thought, as I started my YouTube career, I mean, I posted a few videos. I tried doing music, but then I thought I'd get into gaming. I enjoyed it while it lasted. In fact, gaming was what got me my 5,000 subscribers. Uh, but fortunately, the main reason I stopped gaming is because it's just getting harder and harder to A, edit videos, and B, um, because of these updates. I mean, my most favourite one was Gmod vids, but because of all these updates that keep happening, it just makes my computer slower, and at the moment my computer's not working properly, so that's where I decided to, over a year ago, no way, I think during the pandemic actually, I decided to give up gaming, because move on to different things like travelling, vlogging and other activities and such. You know, it is a bummer. But then again, there were many generations before me, before us, that that feel what nostalgia is like. I mean, back when the world was so simple, the good songs, the good, what was really popular back then, and what toys we used to have when we were kids. Yeah, before the Nerf gun, there was this like disc shooting thing, and then the most popular toy to have were gooey aliens, where you keep aliens in an egg and goo encased in them. What a bummer! What a game that was. It's like, yeah, those were fun games. Very fun games and toys. I guess nostalgia really affects a lot of us in many ways. Just thinking back on the day, we wish we could just go back in time again. I mean, these games I used to play, like the Harry Potter PlayStation games, or in fact all sorts of PS2 games from my days, and Stitch and all that. I played them again in recent years, but it was fun for a while, but then it's just I don't have that same feeling anymore. I mean, so much has changed since then. I mean, I started drinking alcohol just like normal people. I've vaped. So I've been vaping. I've been going out parties. I've got laid a few times. Basically, I did what most people my age would have already done. So I basically reached the age of what most people my age would do. So I guess that takes it all away. Imagine it is possible that those who sorry, just thinking. It is possible that those who never really lived will probably have that same feeling of feeling childish. Like from their childhood. It's just a lot. Although sometimes another reason to go back in time because it's not just because of the fun things were new back then, but it was because there were people that we left. There were so many people we left behind in the past. People we had to continue without. Travelling through time. They say that travelling through time is like walking on a road. One guy starts and carries a torch, and the next thing you know, others come along to join him on the journey. But then the guy carrying the torch gets slower and slower until he can't keep up anymore. So passes on the torch to the next person, and then leaving the previous torch holder behind. So yeah. No, sorry, that came out wrong. It's not easy having a single life, and it's not easy, being a homeowner, and I've got so much to share, but no one to share it with. It's a real pain. It's a real hands getting done. It's a real pain indeed. But I do wonder. If there is an answer. It will make life easier if there was like something in my head that tells me what I want to do. Because the thing is, I also have trouble deciding on things. Whenever it comes to like buying a product or playing a game or watching a movie, thinking watch no. It's one of them things. I just really can't decide. But mind you, we all go through that, don't we? At least I'm not alone. I usually don't make vlogs this long because I run out of ideas or I'm in a rush to go somewhere else. But, I have many hours left before I go to bed, and it's just... I mean, normally I would have my quilting blanket, but I thought because this is more ventilating, so I get too warm. You see, it's also... What else am I gonna say? I'm gonna tell you, the very first night, right, when I first moved in here, after getting all this stuff in, last time I'm sorry, on my final night back at my parents', we took this bed apart, I slept on a mattress, we moved the stuff here, and the very first thing I did after settling in and got some food, for the first night, I then went to my local pub, the Apollo. It was alright at first. I mean, I met a few people I'm acquainted with. It was quite good. Well, one person really, but it was quite good really for a night like that. Only thing is, so much has changed since then. I guess anxiety took a turn for the worse since that day. I mean, losing my grandfather not long after, and then loneliness. Just thing is, I filled this house with so much stuff: furniture, spirits, a TV, guitars, so much electronical devices, and yet I don't know. It's just still this house still feels empty. Mind you, it's just me wanting a partner in life. I mean, this place, a really nice place to settle down and begin a family until we move on to something bigger, maybe a bigger place. Of course, in hard times, I have a few people to turn to. And then some point in the summer this year, I went into a panic. I went into a panic attack because it was a stressful week one week, and it's like all that coming at me at once. It was like I was carrying bricks on my back. It's like I was carrying so many bricks on my back, and people just kept putting more and more on it until my back broke. I mean, some people really. The thing is, partly I did this to myself. Other times, people do it to me. And for some reason, I always keep asking to myself, how does one enjoy life? How does one enjoy life? I mean, there are billions of people out there, each one living a each one living some type of an interesting livelihood. Some were born to be musicians, some born to be actors, some born to be lawyers, directors, head administrations, running their own company, you name it. I mean, there's like so much there to go on, and yet there's the thing about living once. You can only be one of those things. It's so hard to decide what you want to do. Where you want to go for a career. I mean, for me, I just really want to settle down. That's all I want to do. Settle down, start a family. I can always have fun time to time. I mean, I've had my fun. I've done so much for my life. I mean, I've been partying since I was in my teens. Doing crazy things, and yeah, I've done crazy things when I was a teenager. Even though got on with some bad people, so but that's all past me. I used to be, but basically, back in my teen days, I used to be a chav. Yep, I used to be a chav, and but luckily, those days are beyond me. Parkouring, vigilant, like almost like delinquent. Sorry, not vigilante. Man, I can still remember those days, thinking what a bad person I was. But things have changed since then. I started working since I was 16 years old. Instead of going to college, I just went to work, and because of that, going to college instead of finding a job. Sorry, going to work instead of finding college. Even though I got money, even though I got money, it got me a driving license, got me a car. I mean, getting a driving license was one of the happiest moments of my life, because I was able to go anywhere and all that. But however, going to work at the age of 16,
I just missed out on a possible college love life or an interesting college life. I'm always curious what a college life would be. I mean, especially when I see college students nowadays and student dorms and all that. I mean, thinking, whoa, kids living a home away from home. Just thinking, what would my life be like if I actually went to college? But no, I chose the path, and then again, going to college probably wouldn't have got me this place. I mean, for what it's worth, it's pretty good. But sometimes, sometimes I always wonder other things that could have happened, like if I was a better boyfriend to my ex girlfriends, or if I could have found someone better than them, which I'm hoping to. I mean, yeah, maybe now, but I mean at the time, before, but it's just becoming harder and harder to find relationships, especially with what people are putting on Facebook, which is why I'm gonna be working on. I'm gonna be working on a dating app. You see, I'm gonna try and create one of my own, one where nobody has to pay anything. It's gonna be a non-profit dating app. Is what I'm hoping to do, and fingers crossed that works out. But there are a lot more things to look forward to before the end of the year. I mean, my Scandinavian tour. But before I do my Scandinavian tour, I'm going to take another quick stop to Ireland. Yeah, I'm going to Ireland quite a lot now because this will be my third trip there. The thing is, I like Ireland. It's my favourite country. I mean, makes me almost wish I could just live there, but visiting is just as good. I mean, here's a fun fact. When you move to somewhere, you don't like it anymore. So when you visit something, you like it. But when you live there and stay there, give it a couple of years, you don't like it anymore. You grow out of it. Just like one day I'll grow out of this house and I want to move to another one, but time's money, I'm afraid. One of the reasons I like about Ireland, let's see, probably because it is a foreign. It's like a foreign country which England is related to. I mean, to be honest, England's quite related to the Irish. We used to have the same leader, and we used to be almost like the same nation, the British Isles and everything. But so, in other words, we're kind of like cousins. A foreign country related to us, basically. It is quite good. I tell you, just like for my trip to Europe. Trip across Europe. I mean, since that one night, I've been having this like trap dream. You see, you've probably seen in my previous video. Sorry, one of my previous video. It's titled "Stuck on a Train in Germany." Well, the reason that being was because my plan was to take a train that traveled all night from Paris to Berlin. Yeah, Berlin. The only problem is, what I didn't realise, this train was a sleeper, and here's the other fun fact. because the Pullman services are a bit... Because the German Pullman service trains are a bit far behind ours, they're not as modern, so they're like all tiny cramped compartments. I mean, every compartment was completely full of people, and I was not going to sleep in one of them. I didn't know where to sleep, but I tried to stay awake all night. I mean, the journey took like 12 whole hours. Actually, nearly 13 hours on that train. It was a nightmare. I mean, I saw a few sceneries. I fell asleep on the floor after, but it was not very comfortable, especially having to turn over every once in a while. I mean, that was a night, and ever since that night, for some reason, I keep getting this dream where I'm late for all sorts, work, travel, my holiday. I keep getting those dreams when I'm late. It's just weird, really. But the thing is, when I get dreams like those, they always have an answer to something. And I do wonder. Anyway, I think that's all time I got for. I don't know how long I don't know how long this vlog I was recording. But see you guys around for the next vlog. Goodbye.